diversifies their supply chain because apart from
और आइए आपको लिए चलते हैं अब विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस वार्ता में.
Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs, Shri V. Muralidharan will visit Sri Lanka from 3rd, 4th February to participate in the 75th Independence Day celebrations of Sri Lanka, that is on 4th February 2023. During the visit, the Honourable Minister of State will also have separate bilateral interactions with the President and Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka. He will also have an interactive session with prominent members of the Indian diaspora. We will share with you more details later. That was a brief announcement that I had. Happy to take a few questions. Yeah, today when it starts, you share, and then I'll go.
Sir, this is Abhishek Jha from CNN News 18. My question is regarding this media report that is coming from USA, where it has been reported that Prime Minister Modi may be having a meeting with President Biden, and USA side is very keen to have him somewhere around May, June. So if you could just say whether the possibility of Prime Minister's visit is being explored.
What is the exact question? Possibility of a visit is being explored.
It is being explored by the MEA.
Okay. I saw your hand. Siddhant, go ahead. I'll come back to you.
Hi, I'm Siddhant from Beyond. My question is, we have seen the Khalistani violence in Australia. Has the government raised the matter with the government in Australia? And also we have seen similar incidents in Canada as well. With the Canadian government as well, we have raised the matter.
Look, could you be a little more specific? What violence are we referring to in Australia, and what are you talking about?
In Australia, we saw the violence over the weekend by the Khalistani extremists attacking the Indians.
And the Canada one, which one do you have in mind?
Brampton, there was a temple where we saw vandalization. So
okay, fair enough. Yeah, go ahead.
कादम्बरी शर्मा फ्रॉम एनडीटीवी इंडिया. ऑलमोस्ट सेम क्वेश्चन. जो वहाँ पर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हमारे जो हाई कमिश्नर हैं, उन्होंने मुलाकात की प्रीमियर से विक्टोरिया में और मंदिर भी गए, लेकिन क्या ऑस्ट्रेलिया की तरफ से किसी सख्त कार्रवाई की का आश्वासन मिला है इस सड़क पर हुए इस झड़प में जिसमें 2 लोग घायल भी हुए हैं?
Okay. One second. Yeah, go ahead. Manush. Microphone.
Manas from PTI. There's been a report in the Bangladeshi media that Bangladesh government has sought a revision of the power purchase agreement it had signed with Adani Power for procurement of power from its Jharkhand plant. Okay. So do you have anything to say on this report?
Hasini.
Thank you. So Hasini Heather from The Hindu. It's been about a week since the government issued notice to Pakistan for calling for amendments to the Indus Water Treaty. I wanted to know 2 questions. One, whether Pakistan has responded in any way, shape or form, and whether the World Bank has said anything. And the second being that the Court of Arbitration in the Permanent Court of Arbitration, The Hague, has begun to hear the Indus Water Treaty case on Kishanganga and Ratle. Does this mean that whatever the outcome, and where India is not, does this mean that whatever the outcome, India is not present over there, India has boycotted the proceedings, does this mean that whatever the outcome of this will not be accepted by India?
Okay. Let me take this round and I'll come back to a few questions. Abhishek, your question was regarding some media report, right? Look, I'm not going to get into commenting on such media reports, as you're very well aware, and report, but best avoided commenting on such reports. Siddhant, your question was regarding Australia and in fact and Canada, and there was some the attack that happened. I think it was January 30th. Let me first of all say we strongly condemn such attack by extremist elements, and we urge local authorities to investigate and punish the perpetrators. We have been repeatedly taking up with the Australian authorities our concerns about actions by such elements, including those that are proscribed terrorist organizations, in fact. We have also conveyed our firm rejection of the so-called Khalistan referendum and the politically motivated exercises by extremist elements. You had a specific query about it's been taken up with the Australian authorities. As I mentioned, we have been taking up. We have requested Australia to ensure the safety and security of members of the Indian community and their properties, and to not allow the use of Australian territory for activities that would be detrimental to Indian territorial integrity, security and national interests of India. We have in this regard noted the comments by some Australian leaders condemning the violence in Melbourne, and we will continue to take up this issue with the Australian authorities. In Canada, you had mentioned about a Canada incident. In that context, you would have seen the comments, I think, by the Canadian Foreign Minister denouncing the vandalism. We reaffirm this position strongly, and we, of course, condemn such acts of vandalization. So that's broadly what I wanted to say. आपने पूछा हिंदी में, देखिए जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में और उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई करने के लिए हम आग्रह करते रहते हैं, किया भी है, जैसे ऐसे प्रतिबंधित आतंकवादी संगठन सहित ऐसे तत्व द्वारा ऐसे जाने वाली कार्रवाई के बारे में अपनी चिंताओं को बार बार हमने ऑस्ट्रेलियन अथॉरिटीज या अधिकारियों के सामने उठाया है. ये तथाकथित खालिस्तान रेफरेंडम की जो जिक्र किया था और एक्सट्रीमिस्ट एलिमेंट्स द्वारा राजनीतिक रूप में ऐसे जो एक्सरसाइज या एक्शन लेते हैं, इस पर हमारी दृढ़ अस्वीकृति को भी हमने अवगत कराया है ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अथॉरिटीज को. हमने उनको कहा है कि भारतीय समुदाय के सदस्य और उनकी संपत्ति की सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित करने के लिए और भारत के क्षेत्रीय अखंडता, सुरक्षा और राष्ट्र हित के लिए हानिकारक गतिविधियों के लिए ऑस्ट्रेलिया क्षेत्र के उपयोग का अनुमति नहीं देने का अनुरोध भी किया है. इस जो इंसिडेंट हुआ मेलबर्न में, हमने इस इंसिडेंट की निंदा करने वाले ऑस्ट्रेलिया नेताओं की टिप्पणी पर भी हमने गौर किया है. हमने देखा है कि कुछ लीडर्स ने ऐसे टिप्पणी किया है कि उन्होंने इसको खंडन किया है ऐसे एक्ट का. कनाडा का भी एक प्रश्न था कि हमने उस बारे में कनाडा के विदेश मंत्री ने एक ट्वीट अपने कमेंट्स दिए हैं जिसमें उन्होंने निंदा की है. हमने ऐसे ये जो स्टेटमेंट है उनका जो पक्ष है इस स्थिति की पुष्टि करते हैं और ऐसे वैंडलाइजेशन या अटैक्स के बारे में हम बड़ी निंदा करते हैं. कादम्बनी, आई थिंक दैट आपकी जो प्रश्न था इसका आंसर उसी में है. मैं ये कहना चाहता था कि हाँ, हमारे जो उच्चायोग हैं वहाँ वो मिले थे वहाँ के प्रीमियर जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया के प्रोविंस के प्रीमियर हैं, और ये बात उठाई गई उनमें कि आप इसमें, उन्होंने अपने ट्वीट भी किया है उनके इस मीटिंग के बारे में जिसमें उन्होंने कहा था कि उन्होंने कड़ी शब्दों में इस इंसिडेंट को और जनरली ये जो कुछ एक्सट्रीमिस्ट हैं और जो सो कॉल्ड खालिस्तान रेफरेंडम के बारे में एक्शन ले रहे हैं उसके अगेंस्ट में एक्शन लेने के लिए हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया है. और मैंने जैसे कहा, हमने देखा है कि कुछ ऑस्ट्रेलियन लीडर्स ने इसका कंडेमनेशन भी रखा है और निंदा की है. Manas, I don't have anything on that. As you clearly said, this was I understand you're referring to a deal between the sovereign government and an Indian company. I am not aware of the deal. I don't think we are involved in this. So Hasani, let me clarify on your question. This was regarding the Indus Water Treaty. Last week, as you said, we have issued, or rather our Indus Commissioner, India's Indus Commissioner for Indus Waters, Commissioner for Indus Waters, issued a notice on 25th of January for the modification of the Indus Water Treaty of 1960 to his Pakistani counterpart. This notice was issued with the intent to provide Pakistan an opportunity to enter into government-to-government negotiations to rectify ongoing material breach of the treaty. We have called upon Pakistan to notify a suitable date for the commencement of interstate bilateral negotiations under Article 12.3 of the treaty within 90 days. I am not aware of a response from Pakistan as yet. I also don't know if, I'm not aware of any response or comment by the World Bank. In any case, our notification by the Indus Commissioner was to his Pakistani counterpart, not to the World Bank. I would not speculate. You had asked me on the Court of Arbitration. That's a legal process. I would not speculate as to our position or the exact modality or approach. You are right. We are not involved or participating in that process. But further steps I would not like to prejudge at this stage. Next round of question. कौन सी पार्ट? आपने तो पूछा नहीं. Anyway, अच्छा, हिंदी में चाहने की बात होती है. आपको प्रश्न है तो पूछिए, मैं जवाब दूंगा. देखिए, 25 जनवरी को हमारे जो भारत के कमिश्नर फॉर इंडस वाटर्स कहलाते हैं, उन्होंने अपने पाकिस्तान काउंटर पार्ट को जो सिंधु जल संधि के मॉडिफिकेशन के लिए उन्होंने नोटिस जारी की है, जो 1960 की जो ये संधि है। इस नोटिस को पाकिस्तान को इशू इसीलिए किया गया कि ये जो मटेरियल ब्रीच, ऑनगोइंग मटेरियल ब्रीच है उस संधि में, उसको सुधारने के लिए एक मौका दिया जाए कि गवर्नमेंट टू गवर्नमेंट नेगोशिएशंस शुरू करें, और इसको अवसर प्रदान करने के लिए ही हमने ये नोटिस इशू किया है। हमने पाकिस्तान को कहा है कि 90 दिन के अंदर इस ट्रीटी के तहत जो बायलैटरल नेगोशिएशन उनके आर्टिकल 12(3) के तहत जो अलाउड है उसमें उसको शुरू करने के लिए अपना कोई डेट वो बताएं और उसको अधिसूचित करें ताकि हम इसको आगे ले जा सकें। अभी तक मुझे ऐसा कोई खबर नहीं है कि पाकिस्तान ने जवाब दिया है। सुहासिनी ने पूछा था कि वर्ल्ड बैंक ने इसमें कोई जवाब दिया। हमने वर्ल्ड बैंक को लिखा तो नहीं था और ना ही मुझे मालूम है कोई ऐसा कोई रिस्पॉन्स आया है वर्ल्ड बैंक की तरफ से। If I could have a next round of questions, somebody one by one. Hold on, you just answer. Yeah, Yeshi.
This is Yeshi Seri from the New Indian Express. India had sent an invite to Pakistan for attending the SCO Foreign Ministers meet. Any response from them? And what's the update on the 8 naval officers? It's been 6 months, 6 bail pleas have been rejected.
That's the second question, but anyway. So, okay. Okay, I saw. Yeah, please. Sorry, whose hand was up? Yes, sir. Please, before you. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, Shailesh from National Defense, sir. Sir, can you please tell us something about our NSA Ajit Doval sir's visit to US? And we hear that in media reports that perhaps US is ready to give away the technology of G414, or rather to produce the engine or something like that in India. Besides that, there was a delegation also that had prominent members. Industrial delegation also. Can you also tell us about that?
Shorter questions, please. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, before I come to you, go ahead.
Sir, Rishikesh from PTI. Has any government approached India to inquire about the status of Adani related?
Sorry, repeat the question again. Has any government?
Any foreign countries approached India to inquire about the status of Adani? Which erupted after the recent controversy.
Please frame your question correctly. I am not still understanding this. Any foreign government approached us
to inquire about the status of Adani group.
Okay.
Because Adani group is engaged in lots of infra project or other foreign countries like Sri Lanka.
I'm not sure this is a foreign policy related question. Anyway, since you asked, I'll try to give you a response. Yes, please go ahead.
This is Manish Kumar Jha from Financial Express. The similar question regarding the National Security Advisor visit to United States. Again, there were rumors about some particular specific military deals was being discussed. Of course, it was reported in the media, but I would like a clarification from your side, as it is on broad.
What clarification on what? I didn't get you. Specific military deals.
Broad based on critical technology, or was it based on some specific military?
About his visit, you want to know?
Yeah,
okay.
visit possible.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Because there are reports about some specific military deals which are going to take place, and all. So I want a clarification on that. And if you talk about some emerging critical technology, could you talk about some of them which he's discussing with his counterpart or senior leadership in the United States? Thank you.
Okay, Kalu.
Kalu from the Hindu. Sir, of course, this is the year for G20, and India was expected to highlight its economic and all over achievement in the financial field for the world to see. Do you think the Adani issue as it has erupted, and also especially its regional ramifications in the field of, with the dealings that it had with our neighbors, especially with Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, other countries, do you think this is going to cast a shadow on our, image as far as G20 is concerned, especially in the coming months at the summit?
Oh, interesting question. Okay, let me try this round of questions. Okay, Yeshi, your question was about the SCO, right? Look, let me just clarify. This has been going on a bit, and as you said, we are, as you know, we hold the current presidency of the SCO, and as is customary, as the president, India has been extending invitations to all SCO members, including Pakistan. for various events under our presidency that we have hosted and will continue to host as president. So that's broadly what I wanted to say. I don't know what you mean by has someone. I'm not going to be able to get into specific invitations for specific events. These, as the events happen, or well before that, we extend invitations to all the participating countries, or member countries, and we expect them to attend our events in person. That's unless it's a virtual event. I think Pakistani officials might have attended some of these ones. I'll have to check. I think they have. So I'm not sure what exactly you meant. On specific, let's say meetings, I don't have confirmation who all confirmed, who have not confirmed. So that's it. So you want the foreign ministers. Look, I don't know exactly how many have confirmed, who all have confirmed. I don't have the details. The foreign minister meeting is not for some time now. We'll let you know closer to the date as we get to that. You also asked about the 8 naval officers and that. Look, let me reiterate largely what we have been saying on this, that they attach a lot of priority to this case, I would say, and that we are following up. The visits and the communication with the families is going on quite regularly, I would say, and our mission there is, pursuing it, and all possible efforts are being made for their release and repatriation at an early date. But, as I said, family visits and access for the moment are being granted. I don't have any detailed press release, quite a detailed press release about the NSA's visit. I think it was yesterday morning we issued it. I have that actually here with me. I would also draw your attention to a very detailed fact sheet that the United States government has issued on that. One of the key elements of NSA's visit, and in fact, if I could just mention this, was that you would recall that in May 2022, Prime Minister Modi and President Biden, who were then meeting on the sidelines of the Quad Leaders Summit in Tokyo, announced what the India-US is called Initiative for Critical and Emerging Technologies. And that is, I think, is being called ICET. ICT is led by the National Security Council, Secretariat of India, and the US National Security Council under their White House. In fact, during this, quantum technology, semiconductors, space, telecom, and also defense or enabling defense co-production. We believe that through ICET is participation of multiple stakeholders, including industry, research and innovation ecosystem, to bring going. But I noticed that under the Defense Innovation and Technology Cooperation fact sheet issued by the US side, it says that the US side says that we have received indication from General Electric to jointly produce jet engines that could power jet aircraft operated and produced indigenously by India. The United States commits to an expeditious review of this application. I don't think we should go beyond that. What has been said, that should answer your question also.
पत्थर से भगवान राम की प्रतिमा बनेगी राम मंदिर में। इस घटना से आपको लगता है कि भारत और नेपाल के संबंधों को और मजबूती मिलेगी, खासतौर पे?
Okay, Sasni. Okay, just
two very quick follow-ups.
2 follow-ups. Okay.
One on the Indus Water Treaty. The fact is that the arbitration court going ahead is an indication that the World Bank has actually not accepted India's view that there should be a graded mechanism, that it should be a step-by-step process. Have you protested in any way with what seems to be the World Bank taking Pakistan's side on the issue of which mechanism should go forward now for dispute resolution? Is this an issue between India and the World Bank? The Goda power plant in Jharkhand is very much something that is part of foreign policy. When Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina visits India, it is something that is discussed in the MEA as well as a symbol of India. Bangladesh, grateful for a comment, particularly as the Bangladesh minister, according to this report, the Bangladesh minister came to India and discussed this as well.
Okay, no further questions, thanks. Okay, let me end with this one. देखिए, मैं आपका जो सवाल था मंत्री जी, मुझे मालूम नहीं कैसे उत्तर देना चाहिए, क्योंकि उसमें वो हैं और रहेंगे, और इसमें सरकारों का क्या रोल है मुझे नहीं मालूम, तो इसीलिए मैं इसमें कुछ कह नहीं पाऊंगा. Salish, Shashank, you asked about why we should take it up at all. I don't think it was taken up by our side, and
तो आप देख रहे थे विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस वार्ता में